Nice finds. If you really care about quality.
We got an interview here today with Charlton from Franklin Straps. So we met yesterday, right? And then you kind of said, let me just hear like what you said yesterday about.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of here more or less doing a little bit of recon, just, visiting the show, getting the lay of the land, and in my efforts of sort of educating myself, I came across your YouTube channel, and there's a few people out there trying to talk about the ASD show, and I just enjoyed your personalities and your content immensely. As a marketer myself, I respected it, and I went down the rabbit hole, watched everything you did, and I was like, I gotta go meet these guys. It seemed like they know what they're doing. So.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you came by yesterday, and he's like enthusiastic about it, and we love that. Like, if more people know what we know, like that makes me happy, right? Because we have we're trying things out. Sometimes it works, and then it doesn't. But we'll always tell people when something works, right? What do you think about the show?
Well, I generally speaking, I'm still unsure how it fits for what I do, because I'm such a niche market. But first, I'll say, generally speaking, if you're in general wholesale retail, this is the place to camp out. I mean, this is a grand slam all day long. I can see the value in it, especially in the context of YouTube video. But what I do is I own a company called Tonal Music Inc., and we own some accessory brands in the musical instrument space. So if you play guitar, you might have heard of Franklin Strap or the Glider Capo, and those are both our products. We manufacture, distribute, export. You can find our products in all the guitar centers in America, along with another about 1,000 mom and pops nationwide, and then probably another 1,000 or 2,000 internationally. So we export a lot in multiple different countries.
Yeah.
If you're a distributor or retailer in South America, I'm looking for you. Holler at me. Yeah.
So do you say that most of your stuff is you're selling to stores, or?
So we split it up. It's a great question, because it is 2024. When I first started 15 years ago, it was I think '08 is when I started, and I essentially built the brand in a van, driving around the country, in a van down by the river.
Build a business out of it.
And I just drove around and going in, cold calling brick and mortar stores, getting them on board the Strap brand. I had a wonderful mentor that passed about 4 years ago, and then I ended up buying the business after working for 13 years. So that's been 4 years. So I guess I'm at 16 now.
You have it is started out with a love of music, you love music, and then you wanted to play guitar.
Yeah, so I'm a film scorer also. So I own a music publishing company on the side. I went to music school. I have some session work. I own a studio in Nashville. So it all kind of overlaps. So it all kind of went from there, and then I got on the gear side of things.
Yeah.
Also grew up in guitar retail. So, doing lessons and teaching lessons eventually. Yeah. But, I started piano lessons at 6 years old. I mean, I camped out at these places growing up like a kid would at
Yeah, you do. A sponge. Everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a part of my life my whole life. My father was a songwriter in Nashville. I grew up, born and raised in Nashville. I'm one of the rare breeds that's a Nashville native. Here, we would typically be looking for retailers to wholesale to. But to answer the question, when I first started, there was 20,000 guitar-based dealers, and now there's 5. So the only option is to start selling direct. And so we have the whole omni-channel. We do sell direct to the public. 60-70% of what we do is still wholesaling and exporting.
Yeah.
But a big part of what we do is also direct sell to the public. In a place like this, I see right behind us here, there's a big sticker for fee stock. As a mass producer, we might build 120,000 guitar straps in a year. 1 to 3% of that, it needs to be liquidated, and it's totally functional and usable. Can be blown out at cost, essentially. Stupid margins for the retailer.
Yeah.
So a place like this could be beneficial for me in that aspect.
But what about coming into ASD and actually selling?
Yeah,
Like something.
Yeah, you know where I'm really interested is private label. So, because we can manufacture, so we've manufactured guitar straps for all kinds of companies. I had a meeting earlier with Jelly Belly. I've got I've made straps for Jack Daniels, for airport gift shops. So if you're a company and you want your label on a guitar strap, maybe you've not even thought about it before, and it could definitely be a thing you do. And so this atmosphere is perfect.
Yeah, so you could kind of come in here and say that, like, hey, I have the straps, but I also provide this service.
That's right.
Maybe you guys want your own, like, labels on it and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of customers there's a lot of open-minded people at A&D too that are just, like, looking to do something. It's like, look at us.
Well, that's the vibe. What I really like about this is, 80% of sales is passion. So, like, I can't, not to.
I like that.
Well, I will say this: I'm not this talented, but let me tell you a story. At our industry's trade show, it's called the NAM show, National Association of Musical Merchants. One of my best dealers in Florida came to me one day and he said, "You're the best sales guy I ever met." It's very flattering, but the first thing that I said right back was, I've never sold a thing in my life. All I do is speak about the things that I'm infinitely passionate about.
Yeah.
And the things that I believe in. And if that sells you on the idea, then, as we say in the South, roll tide. But, but really, I think if you have to actively sell something, you have an inferior class. I think if you actually have the deal that makes someone's life better, all you have to do is explain what you're doing. And that makes me passionate.
Yeah. Like you, like this, like changed your life, right?
Yeah,
Like the straps change your life, and then like you're selling it to wholesalers, and like I can help you change your life.
Exactly.
It's like the bigger picture.
100%, 110%. That's exactly, like, I guess 20% of it is knowledge about the product. 80% is just caring. Just care. Just literally care. All you have to do is have passion and care about what you do, and you already have a leg up on everything.
Yeah. So like for us, like we really want to see our customers succeed. Like we want them to make like good products.
Yeah.
We're sending them good products to their customers, because then they're showing their customers they care. It's like a chain that falls down.
Well, and that's obvious. That's why I was such attracted to your content, because you guys sweat passion. I mean, you enjoy what you do clearly. You have a command over what you do in terms of the knowledge base and to be able to articulate it. And I think other like-minded people are attracted to that because you're at their level.
Yeah.
Or they're at yours. You're matching that level of passion. And if you can just do that, you're already better than 90% of people out here trying to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to connect with good people. Like if you give a good vibe out, like have vibe is
Look, straight up, if you don't know whether the show is for you or not, number one thing I'll say is networking is never a net negative.
no.
I think if you just come out here and shake some hands and sweat that passion like you guys do, you're going to find a handful of people and you don't know what that might manifest into. You really don't. And that's kind of why I'm here. I don't know whether this is a place I want to show. I don't know whether I'm going to find someone I can do business with at the end of the day. But I get to find people like you that are out here in retail and wholesale, like I am. And regardless whether the product category, regardless what you're doing, regardless what your customer is, we have that in common. We can share that moment, and we don't know what this turns into.
Yeah.
And I think that's always
It's like coming with a positive attitude, being optimistic, right? Like I've talked to so many people today, and it's like optimistic, positive attitude, and maybe they my energy flex that, and then we link up after, and then you never know what happened, right? Like so everyone, and
That's right.
yeah.
Oh, agreed.
What kind of like stuff do you have like that you're selling that you like some key products that you want?
Yeah. Oh, well, for us, we have a very lean catalog. So, I spent a lot of time shopping textiles. That was one thing I was hoping to find here is maybe like leather hide or cotton or canvas, things like that. I was walking around the fashion floor at the Central Hall. And then, of course, there's another show in the same location, I believe they call Magic. That's going to, here soon, that's going to be strictly fashion. So that's an interesting, I didn't even know that until I started chatting with people here. I mean, so there you go. I get more educated. We have a very lean catalog. It's essentially relatively the same 300 SKUs all the time over the span of We're about a 30-year-old company. We've discontinued some things. We introduced new things, but relatively speaking, it's a very lean catalog because we are sort of experts in merchandising. So the way I like to explain it is, there's a thing called the paradox of choice. And some of our biggest competitors might have 3,000 pieces in their catalog because they go to a show like this and they buy something, liquidate it, pennies on the dollar. They make 1,000 straps out of it and they blow it out to the dealers and they discontinue it immediately. That screws up the POS system on the retail end. That screws up the consistency. It screws up a lot when you're an actual dealer of a brand. So it's a different way to retail. So
Make it simple.
yeah, make it simple, make it easier to repurchase and restock. As a mass producer, I have to be able to schedule my production schedules and not have a million different things going on to where half my catalog's out of stock for half the year.
Yeah.
So it's we have to buy football fields and materials. We're completely American made.
And it's all handmade.
It's all handmade.
Yeah.
It's completely American made. It's completely American sourced, which means I have the lowest margin out of everybody that's selling in my product category because it costs me 10 times more to make something, but the quality is also 10 times better. So so there's that.
Are you getting a strap that lasts?
Oh yeah, that your whole life. Really, strangely, we have a 64% repurchase rate on our website. So 64% of the people that buy a strap directly from us purchase again within that calendar year, which is shocking.
Yeah.
For a product that lasts your whole life. It's mainly because people might have a dozen guitars and they want one for each guitar, that kind of thing. And we have some really big heavy hitters in terms of our artists that we endorse. We work with Billy Strings and Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake and I can go on and on. We've got 100 artists that everyone knows and they help us and so much in the marketing. But then we also have this showroom series. If you go on our Instagram at Franklin Strap, you'll see about a couple of posts a week where Broadway players in Nashville, or maybe they're just touring and they're coming through. We've had like the bass player from Nora Jones to, just anybody you can think of. They come to our showroom and do a little ditty for us on camera, and with our straps and a little cross promotion, and that's a lot of fun. So we're trying to get into the content space a little bit as well.
Yeah. Content is key for us. So we're not constantly about each other, but yeah, we could definitely help you out and we could help you out and just see how things done and it's just great to get an audience. You just gotta build this.
Well, that's half the game these days now, right? It's really half the sale now. When I first started, it was calling and emailing, and that was kind of in trade shows, building relationship. But now you have to be sort of an attractor. You have to be a magnet to eyeballs because, immediately with the internet, it's unlimited competition now. So anybody in a garage is your competitor at this point. And so you have to be creating things that are free to the public, that are interesting, just like you guys do. You guys have nailed it. I'm not even, in sort of your product category, I would say.
Yeah.
But you attracted me immediately because of the quality of your content. And that's what you have to provide that in order to sort of cut through the mix.
Yeah, because going back to somebody in the garage, right? If that person in the garage has 100,000 people following them on Instagram.
That's right.
Compared to your company.
And he's killing it.
That has 1,000.
Yeah.
He kind of has this stuff up on the social media, and it's but people are seeing stuff. They're coming up on a news feed and stuff like that. So that's why me and Dave, so we got to get this stuff off people to see.
And if you survive on advertising and getting data sets for advertising, and you're doing dynamic ads, lookalike ads, or you got pixels on your website, all of that, as soon as you start creating organic clicks to your site, you double the potency of the targeting of the algorithm on all the platforms, whether it's Google AdWords, whether it's Meta, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, whatever you're doing. You can't if you're just throwing money at the algorithm, you're essentially paying for every conversion. Whereas if you're teaching the algorithm who to target through organic clicks, not only does your ad budget go down, but the potency of your targeting goes up exponentially.
And those organic follows and likes, they happen to good vibe, right? 100%. like when you like things to certain charities, like those folks are very like people love seeing that. Like when we show that like our healthy customers like load up their trucks and stuff, like they love seeing that, right? So I think like even getting back to this community and like showing people that like, hey, like we're getting back to we're trying to do good here too. Like I'm just that like on the good end though.
Well, I mean, charity is fantastic. We do our own, but I mean, you are giving back to your public by your existence. I mean, you're teaching people how to be entrepreneurs in a world where they didn't even know this was an option. And you're giving them the tool to figure out the world. You're giving them the tools to figure out how supply chains work. You're giving them this out. Maybe they didn't have the money for a mortgage for a brick and mortar. Maybe they didn't have the money to monetize that creative idea that they had, maybe start a factory or whatever it is. And you're giving them these tools to get into the industry and in terms of the supply chain world that they most likely didn't even know this was available to them.
Yes.
And so you just by arming them with that knowledge, you're giving back to them.
Yeah.
And I think you'll benefit from that wholeheartedly in a multitude of them.
Yeah. Yeah, is there anything else that you want to like talk about? Well,
Man, I just think if you've got the entrepreneur spirit and you want to get into this world of supply chain, I think this is the place to be. Honestly, I'm not exact. I think I'll definitely come back here, whether I'll show here or not. I'm not exactly for sure. But I think if you want to get passionate on working for yourself, starting something, maybe out of the house and maybe it grows into something, I think this is a great place to start. If you've already got the brick and mortar, if you've already got and then you're looking, maybe what you're doing or maybe what you've done for years just is maybe the world's different and maybe you're trying to look for a different angle. Yeah, 100%. This is a place to be. These are the people to talk to arm yourself with the knowledge of these sort of new world findings and how to navigate the internet, how to navigate the supply chain. This is a place to be, and definitely stop by and see these great guys because it'll be worth your time.
plug in all your stuff though.
All right, yeah. So our main two brands, Franklin Strap and Glider Capo, you can find it pretty much every city, every metropolitan at least in America. Our biggest platform is Instagram at Franklin Strap. You can find us on TikTok at Tonal Music Inc. That's Tonal, T-O-N-A-L. Same thing with Facebook. It's Franklin Strap, Facebook. Did I say YouTube, Tonal Music Inc.? Go visit your mom and pop guitar store, and if they don't have Franklin, tell them to call them. And again, my name is Charlton. It's Charlton at franklinstrap.com. If you have any questions, if you're interested in maybe liquidating and some B-stock guitar straps even and flowing them out, holler at me, man. I'm interested to hear some ideas. So
You always have to be selling. Always have to try selling. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. And off.
thank you, sir.